President Trump, if you've been watching the news recently, declared his stupid non-emergency national emergency recently. I just wanted to comment. I've been really tired because I've been working a lot at my job. Usually that Congress makes the budget and the president puts his rubber stamp on it and approves of it. And whenever they get into these pissing contests, they shut down the government. They can shut down the government for a certain amount of time, and if they don't decide on a budget and pay off their stuff, that the US dollar crashes. So usually during these fights that one of them has to back down. And unfortunately that Fox News gave Donald Trump this idea to declare a national emergency. So basically, I knew this was going to happen. If it were the usual business that either Trump would have compromised and not gotten his wall, or Congress would have and given him his money, they decided to go with some of the money, not all that he asked for. And he basically just took away Congress's power by declaring a national emergency. So now he's taking as much as he wants. And the thing is, this isn't even an emergency. An example of when to use the power of national emergency is when something like 9/11 happens and you have to go send in rescue teams without the support of Congress. This is just like when Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars used his national emergency powers to become the Emperor. Yeah, because there's just all these Mexican rapists smoking cocaine running down the street, right? So it's just so necessary to build this wall. The problem is that there's no clear definition for what constitutes a national emergency. So they can make a national emergency anything they want. But trying to scare people by saying, oh, all the Hispanics are doing the crimes. I mean, I guess if you live in a poor neighborhood, a bunch of the people who commit the crimes are going to be Hispanic. But still, this is stupid. This border wall isn't even going to work. Most illegal immigrants who come into the country overstay their visas. I mean, it's not just about the fact that people can just climb over the wall or burrow underneath it. Trump was all like, oh, it would be like climbing Mount Everest. The border wall wouldn't even stop the main source of illegal immigration. I mean, drugs still get smuggled onto airplanes and boats and shit. People come in via planes, and they overstay their visas. What good's a wall gonna do? All it is basically a symbol of security for a bunch of scared people, where we can have a big giant wall to what basically turns our country into a prison. If you really want to stop illegal immigration, you have to basically, all you gotta do is you have to make an example out of the companies that illegally hire people who aren't supposed to be here. Since these companies are hiring people illegally, they don't pay them enough. They get away with all sorts of inhumane working conditions. If you crack down on those people, the main thing which encourages illegal immigration will stop. But of course they're not going to do that. The Republican Party is in the pockets of many of these large companies. I mean, crack down on companies illegally hiring workers, causing the illegal immigration which you people are denouncing in the first place. How naive for me to think that something as simple as that can happen. No, it's not about securing the sanctity of immigration and making sure that it's done illegally. It's about giving the Republicans a group of scary brown people to use as a scapegoat. This is an overstep. This is an abuse of the president's power. And you numbfucks don't even care. Even if you do support this border wall, doing this goes against the nature of democracy. And you Trump-tards don't even care that the further you swing the pendulum to the right, the worse that the reaction's gonna be. You don't think that, Nancy Pelosi was all like, oh, well, imagine what could happen if there were people of different values in this sort of a situation. Let me translate that for you. If this becomes normal, using national emergencies to just gain all the power to apply any expensive shit you want to the budget, this will get used in the future. This becomes normal that the Democrats are going to do that. The more crazy that President Trump acts and the more you piss off the Democrats, the more extreme and weird and wacky their candidate is going to be. But yeah, I've been seeing some Democrat talk shows mentioning how if we did do a national emergency, it should be about climate change, and not to blame the Democrats too much when it's a Republican Party fucking up right now, but we shouldn't make the same mistake to use the national emergency power to implement whatever policy we want. I mean, climate change will make the planet unlivable in 20 years. It can potentially destroy our planet and cause worldwide damage. But if you do a national emergency, it's got to be something that you have to do immediately. There's no time to get the approval of Congress for. And that's the problem when it comes to these national emergencies, is that using the concept of a national emergency to take complete control over the budget has never been done before. Even though legally it could be, because most people consider that too shameful to be done. Most people had enough of a sense of shame to not do that. But for people like Trump, that there is no sense of shame. There's nothing too shameful to do. And it's fucking naive that when President Ford made the concept of a national emergency, that he didn't define specifically what criteria an event has to meet to be a national emergency. If you don't want someone to do something, you gotta put it down in writing. For example, if you don't want presidents to pardon themselves, most people just take that as common sense. If you get accused of a crime and you're found guilty, you can't pardon yourself. Not to Donald Trump. Maybe that was the point of this law. It was made by the guy who pardoned Nixon. Maybe the point of it was to just be able to take control over the country whenever you want, over the pretense of a national emergency. People I know think he's gonna lose. A bunch of courts are trying to sue him, and I hope he does, but I think it's very possible that he could win. It seems to me that the law's on his side. He's claiming that the crime committed by poor Hispanics and the drugs make it an emergency. There's nothing in the law defining what a national emergency was. He was able to do that. Hopefully that they get rid of this under the under the basic common sense that this is not an emergency. He was talking about what was going to happen in this weird sing-song voice. Here's the clip.
So the order is signed, and I'll sign the final papers as soon as I get into the Oval Office, and we will have a national emergency, and we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there, and we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court, and hopefully we'll get a fair shake, and we'll win in the Supreme Court, just like the ban. They sued us in the Ninth Circuit, and we lost, and then we lost in the appellate division, and then we went to the Supreme Court, and we won. And it was very interesting because yesterday they were talking about the ban, because we have a ban. It's very helpful, Madam Secretary. Is that right? Without the ban, we'd have a bigger problem. We have a ban on certain areas, certain countries, depending on what's going on in the world. And we won, but somebody said...
So yeah, basically, he was just mocking, like, yeah, and then we're gonna get sued, and, like, you know, making himself seem like the victim, like, yeah, we're just gonna lose so easily. He's getting he's trying to get all his supporters on his side by saying how easily he's gonna lose, but it's very possible he could win this. You know, this is a deciding point whether or not we allow this sort of overreach of power to happen. Trump has been saying he's already built the wall, and that he needs to finish building the wall. I mean, he basically is just completing the groups of fences we already have. It's not a big, beautiful wall like the Wall of China. I mean, even if we did have one of those and he kept his promise, it would still be useless. Whether he collects $8 billion, or I was going through his Twitter looking for tweets, he was saying he was going to get $23 billion or whatever, that he's not going to be able to complete a wall like this. And it's weird. I go on Instagram and I see all these people like so supportive of Trump, even though he's been doing this. Like, oh, he's doing such a great job. And in the comments that there's people saying like, oh, Trump, we're praying for you, or whatever. God bless, all the fake news media's been lying about you, or whatever. It's weird what a twisted perception. It's weird what a twisted perception some people have of the political landscape. While for me, that it's the Republicans making me shit my pants whenever I hear about whatever they're doing. I've been seeing in these Trump-supporting posts, like, oh, some of these Democrats are downright scary. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, what sort of world do you live in where it's the Democrats who are just the scary, creepy ones? I mean, I don't really see that in politics. And I had an idea what it is they're thinking of. I saw this right-wing propaganda picture. It's so weird. Like, the picture right here, it's like, I haven't looked at it for a while, so I might not recollect what it is exactly, but it's like, ooh, giant Jew spider. And, you know, well, we're the evil gays and shit. And then there's like these two fags in holy knight armor who are like, together, we'll take them all together. So it's just weird how many people, like, this view of the world is completely upside down. It's like, you know, people keep there's still so many people who keep supporting Trump. It's not like the support is going down or whatever. Anyways, I've been planning on doing a video on Trump for a while. It's gonna just be an overview of some of the major events in his presidency and how I feel about this lunatic. And then this national emergency bullshit happened first, so I decided I had to talk about that. Anyways, my energy's all gone now, so hopefully I didn't forget to say anything that's been on my mind. I'll probably quit recording this and then suddenly remember, like, ooh, I was gonna say that. So yeah, next time I make a video, I'm gonna talk about all the stupid shit that's just been going on overall in the presidency, like, give my view on, what I would have done if I were voting in the 2016 election now. If I could have voted back then, I would have voted for Jill Stein. Because I was a naive fuck back then, and I'm probably still one now. I guess those personality tests I did didn't catch on, because none of them have any views. My revisiting subjective morality got, like, a decent amount of views for my crappy channel, so hopefully that, my next video, this video gets more than 3 views. I tried to make this video exciting or whatever, so, yeah, hopefully a lot of people view it. Make sure to subscribe and, share this with people and stuff. So yeah, hopefully this video gets more than a couple of views. It's about Trump. I tried to make it interesting, so make sure to click on this video. I mean, I guess you already did that. Subscribe. If you're not, you probably are. And, let's try to increase the view count for this video. You know, let's try to get lots of views. Share it with lots of people. Help my support my YouTube channel and help it grow. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.